Please, I need everybody's honest opinion on this matter. If you were to be you, would you do this same thing that I did? Hi, everyone. You're welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is Precious here again. And I bring you interesting true life stories, true life experiences, people that want to tell their stories for people to learn or for people to advise them. So, if this is your first time passing through my channel, please do well to subscribe. Okay? Turn on the notification bell so that whenever I bring another interesting video on board, you will be the first to get notified. And if you're my returning viewer, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate your support. And if this is not your first time and you know you've not subscribed to my channel, please and please do well to subscribe. And for the story I have for you guys today, as always, interesting story. So sit back and enjoy. A few months ago, my uncle introduced me to this woman. She told me she was getting married soon and she wanted a caterer. I am a caterer and I cater for different events. My uncle told me she was a distant family member and that immediately he heard that she was getting married, he had to recommend me. I was not booked on the day she was getting married, so I agreed to cater for her wedding and her traditional wedding. Because she was introduced as a distant family member, I gave her a very good discount. She wanted food for 150 people on her traditional wedding day and 250 people on her wedding reception. I told her straight away that I always take the full payment before proceeding to cater for any event. But she told me that her money was locked up somewhere, and because of her wedding expenses, she couldn't pay me the full amount right away. And so instead, she told me she would give me half of the money the next day and then pay me the rest before the D day. And because she was brought to me by my uncle and was a family member, I agreed to this arrangement. The next day, I received half of the money from her. I didn't hear from her again after she sent the money. And I understood this perfectly because she is getting married and she was busy. Now, a week to her wedding, I sent her WhatsApp message asking her about the rest of the money. She told me she would send it right away, but she didn't. I didn't hear from her again till about 3 days to her wedding day. She called me and she sounded so tired. Her voice was even strange. She told me that the money that she was expecting would come on Friday instead. And Friday was her traditional wedding day. She was having her traditional wedding on Friday and then her white wedding on Saturday. She told me that the groom was paying for everything and that her contribution was just to pay for the food, the cake, and her makeup. She told me that the money that she was expecting from work, they didn't pay her everything, that they paid her half. So she had to pay for the cake and the makeup and some other things. She said she thought they would send her the remaining money before the D day, but unfortunately, that was not the case. She begged me to consider her and come for the rest of my money after the traditional wedding day. I don't usually go to an event without receiving the full amount, but I just decided to make this an exception. Friday came and I left with my workers to her traditional wedding ceremony. We got there, did the setup and everything. She came to see me personally in the morning and thanked me for coming. She told me I would receive my money before I leave. Everything went great and we served the people their food. But by the time we finished, she was nowhere to be found. I called her number several times and it was switched off. I was really pissed off at this point. And then later that evening, I received a text from an unknown number. It was her. She told me she had to leave in a hurry and that she was sorry for not talking to me before leaving. She told me that she has the money and that I should come with my people the next day and she would pay me before we even start our setup. She also wrote that she couldn't talk on the phone where she was. I left with my people very early in the morning to start setting up the place. But before I started setting up the food and everything, I went to see her in her room. She was getting her makeup done. So I told her that we were ready to start with the setup and that she would give me my money first before we proceed. This woman stood up, pulled me by the side as she said that something came up and her husband couldn't get the money from the bank. And so she has given the money to her husband to sort the problem out. She said at this point, all her money is gone. And so she spoke to my uncle and he had agreed to pay the rest of the money for me. I was like, hell no. It's either she pays me the rest of the money or I am going back to pack my food. The reason why I told her this was because I know my uncle. He doesn't have a penny to his name. Even the day she paid half of the money, my uncle came to me asking me for his own courts, and I gave him some money from the money she gave me. He doesn't have money, and I know him. This woman started begging me, telling me that if my uncle doesn't pay, she will pay. As we were talking, she sent someone to call my uncle for me. When he came there, he told me he would pay the money the next day. I was like, hell no, because I know him. He doesn't have any money. I realized immediately that this woman had no intention of paying me back my money. Different family members were just coming to me, telling me to calm down and that this was a special day and I was ruining it. They said my food was already there, so I should stay and serve it and then deal with the bride later after everything. The things they said was even pissing me off the more. And I just walked out, told my workers to pack the food back into my car, and we left the venue. I heard that the only thing she served that day was pastries and drinks. I just put everything in the freezer and served it at a birthday party I had 2 days later. People are calling me wicked and heartless. They are saying that what I did to that woman on her wedding day was wrong. I want to know if I am wrong for packing my food and leaving the venue. After she failed to pay me my remaining money, what do you think? Hmm. Guys, if you made it to this point, thank you so much for sticking around. I appreciate you. So, what do you think about the story? Do you think she did the right thing by picking up her things and leaving the venue because the woman was clearly not ready to give her her balance? Or do you think she would have, served the food and probably deal with the woman later, asking for her money, going up and down for her money? I personally, I think she did the right thing because it was clear that this woman probably did not have money. I won't say she does not have the money because it was clear here that she was actually using the money to sort other things instead of paying her. She was not prioritizing her own service. That is what I feel. That is my opinion. I feel like she had the money. Probably she did not have the money on the wedding day, but the money came in like 3 times over and she was busy using it for other things. And probably she thinks the lady would take it because she was introduced to as a family member. So that is my opinion. What do you think? What is your opinion on this story? Please drop it in the comments. And if you know you've not subscribed to my channel up to now, please do well to subscribe, like this video, and share to your friends. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.